Behind every headline billionaire, there are dozens of women building empires just as powerful, just as impressive, and sometimes even more impressive. Women who walked into rooms that tried to shut them out and turned those rooms into empires. Women who built companies from borrowed money and broken promises. Women who heard no 1,000 times and turned every rejection into fuel. These are not the women on magazine covers. These are not the women with millions of followers. These are the women quietly controlling billions from the shadows. Today on Opulent Fact, we're revealing the next 9 richest Black women in America, the ones the world forgot to talk about, the ones whose stories will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about wealth. And trust me, some of these stories, you've never heard anything like them. Welcome to Opulent Fact. If this is your first time here, you're in for something special. This isn't the place where we talk about the billionaires you already know. We pull back the curtain on the people who are quietly reshaping the global economy. These are the ones nobody talks about, the ones whose stories are even more powerful than the headlines you've seen. Every single week, we bring you real wealth, real struggles, and lessons that could change your life. Now, let's get into it. Number 9, Iman Abuzaid, the billion-dollar healthcare disruptor. Imagine this, a young girl, thousands of miles away from the country where she would one day change healthcare forever, growing up watching her father, a Sudanese surgeon, save lives every day in Saudi Arabia. Iman Abuzaid left everything behind, her home, her family, and her past. She moved to the United States as an immigrant with one goal: change the healthcare system. And that's exactly what she did. In 2017, she founded Incredible Health, a company with a revolutionary idea. Hospitals need nurses, nurses need jobs, and why is it taking months to connect them? She created a platform that uses artificial intelligence to match hospitals with permanent nurses in under 3 weeks. That's right, 3 weeks, not months. And despite the healthcare industry's skepticism, she pushed forward. By 2022, Incredible Health raised $80 million in Series B funding. The company's valuation hit $1.65 billion, making Abuzaid one of the youngest Black women in America to lead a unicorn company. From Sudanese roots to $1 billion valuation. But the woman at number 8, she didn't just break into one industry. She shattered one of the most powerful industries in America with nothing but a dream and a single radio station.
Number 8, Cathy Hughes, the queen of urban radio. In 1980, a young woman walked into a bank in Washington, D.C. and asked for a loan to buy a failing radio station. The bank said no. She walked into another bank. They said no again. But she didn't stop. She kept walking. She kept asking. And eventually, someone said yes. That woman? Cathy Hughes. And that one radio station became the largest Black-owned media company in American history. Born in Omaha, Nebraska, Hughes grew up in a family where excellence wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. Her father was the first African American to earn an accounting degree from Creighton University. Her mother was a renowned trombonist with one of the most famous all-female jazz groups in history. Hughes started her media career as a teenager at the Omaha Star newspaper. By her 20s, she moved to Washington, D.C. and landed a job at Howard University's radio station, WHUR. There, she made a massive impact, turning WHUR's revenue from $250,000 to $3 million in just 1 year. In 1980, she bought WOLAM in Washington, D.C. and founded Radio One. Today, that one station has grown into Urban One with over 70 radio stations, 2 television networks, and digital platforms that reach 85 million households. In 1999, Hughes became the first African-American woman to take a company public. With a net worth between $400 million and $450 million, Cathy Hughes didn't just build a business, she built a voice for an entire community. From revolutionizing radio waves to creating fashion trends, our next woman didn't just follow the runway, she created it. And she did it all while dropping out of school at 15.
Number 7, Emma Grede, the fashion empire architect. She had no degree, no connections, no money. And at 15 years old, she dropped out of school entirely. Most people would call that the end of the story. For Emma Grede, it was just the beginning. Born in East London to a single mother, Grede grew up in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. Diagnosed with dyslexia at 21, school was a war she couldn't win, so she left and started working. Paper rounds, sandwich shops, restaurants. She worked every job she could find, but each time she was watching, learning, studying how businesses actually worked from the inside. By 26, she founded ITB Worldwide, a talent management and marketing agency. By 36, she sold it. But the real story started in 2015. At Paris Fashion Week, Emma pitched an idea to Kris Jenner, a size-inclusive denim brand. 1 year later, she launched Good American with Khloe Kardashian, and on day one, it made $1 million in sales. Today, Good American is valued at over $3 billion. But that's not even her biggest venture. Emma is also a founding partner of Skims, Kim Kardashian's shapewear empire, now valued at over $4 billion. In 2024, she made history as the first Black woman to serve as an investor on Shark Tank. She is also chairwoman of the 15% Pledge, helping Black-owned businesses generate over $10 billion in revenue. With a net worth of $375 to $390 million, Emma Grede is proof that those who change industries aren't always the ones who come from privilege. Sometimes they're the ones who had absolutely nothing. From fashion to film, the woman at number 6 didn't just write stories, she wrote the future of television, and Netflix paid her hundreds of millions of dollars to do it.
Number 6. Shonda Rhimes, the Queen of Television. Every Thursday night for years, millions of Americans sat down in front of their televisions for one reason: Shonda Rhimes. Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, Bridgerton. These aren't just TV shows, they are cultural events, and every one of them was created by one woman. Born in Chicago to a family that valued education, Rhimes was the youngest of 6 children. She graduated from Dartmouth College with a degree in English and Film Studies. Then she went to USC for screenwriting, and after graduating, she was unemployed. She interned at Denzel Washington's production company, worked as an office manager, and counseled mentally ill and homeless people at a job center. For years, nobody in Hollywood knew her name. Then in 2005, Grey's Anatomy premiered on ABC. Within one season, it had 20 million viewers per week. It made ABC over $2 billion in revenue, and it made Shonda Rhimes the first Black woman to spearhead a successful primetime drama on a broadcast network. In 2017, after years of conflict with Disney executives, Rhimes walked away from ABC. She signed a deal with Netflix worth $150 million. In 2021, that deal was extended to between $300 million and $400 million. Under that deal, she launched Bridgerton, which became the most watched series in Netflix history at the time of its debut. Today, Rhimes owns Shondaland, a production company that controls every project she creates. She owns her content, she controls her narrative, and she earns millions with every single episode. With a net worth of $240 million and growing, Shonda Rhimes is the woman who proved that in Hollywood, ownership is everything.
From television to the tennis court, the woman at number 5 proved that retiring from sports doesn't mean retiring from making money. In fact, she made more after she stopped playing. Number 5. Venus Williams, the quiet empire builder. Everyone knows Serena Williams, the youngest sister, the one with 23 Grand Slam titles, the one who became a venture capital mogul. But what about Venus? Venus Williams is not just Serena's older sister, she's a champion in her own right. 7 Grand Slam singles titles, 5 Wimbledon titles, 4 Olympic gold medals, a career that spanned over 2 decades. But Venus Williams never wanted to just play tennis, she wanted to own things. In 2002, while still competing at the highest level, Venus founded V-Star Construction, an interior design and construction firm. She also launched Earthbound, an eco-friendly clothing line focused on sustainable fashion. While Serena was making headlines with Serena Ventures, Venus was quietly building her own empire behind the scenes. V-Star has completed projects for luxury hotels, high-end residential developments, and commercial spaces across the U.S. Venus has also served as an ambassador for luxury brands and invested in businesses that align with her passion for sustainability and design. With a net worth of $95 million, Venus Williams proves that the quietest sibling is not always the poorest one. From courts to corporate boardrooms,
The woman at number 4 didn't just climb the ladder, she built the ladder everyone else uses.
Number 4. Ursula Burns, the corporate pioneer. In 1980, a young woman from New York City's housing projects walked into Xerox as an intern. She was one of the only black women in the company. 29 years later, she became the CEO of Xerox, the first African-American woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. Her name is Ursula Burns. Burns grew up in the Manhattanville housing projects, where poverty was the norm. Her mother, a single parent, worked as a seamstress. But Ursula knew there was more to her story. She graduated from Columbia University with a mechanical engineering degree and an MBA. She joined Xerox, and once there, she never left. Over 3 decades, she rose through the ranks: engineer, manager, executive, vice president. And in 2009, she became CEO, overseeing $20 billion in revenue and 140,000 employees. Burns transformed Xerox into a technology and services company. She shifted the narrative of what it meant to be a leader in corporate America. After stepping down, she joined the boards of BlackRock and continues to be a major influence. With a net worth of $100 million, Ursula Burns is the quiet giant of corporate America, proof that a humble beginning doesn't determine where you end up. From corporate America to the music industry, the woman at number 3 didn't just sing songs. She built a label, signed artists, and created a music empire that changed the game forever. Number 3. Missy Elliott, the music mogul. In the mid-1990s, hip-hop was a man's world. The producers, the executives, the record labels, they were all men. And then Missy Elliott walked in. Born in Portsmouth, Virginia, Elliott grew up in a household torn apart by domestic violence. By 15, she was pregnant. By 16, she was homeless. But Missy had something nobody could take away: raw, undeniable talent. Her debut album, Supa Dupa Fly, changed hip-hop forever. It won Grammys, topped charts, and redefined the genre. But Missy's wealth didn't just come from music. She co-founded Goldmine Records, where she signed and developed artists. She owned her music and made creative control her priority, something most artists would never have the courage to do. With a net worth of $80 million, Missy Elliott didn't just make music, she built an empire. From music to medicine, the woman at number 2 didn't just practice law, she changed it forever.
Number 2. Aurora James, the 15% Pledge founder. In June 2020, as protests filled every street in America, Aurora James, a black fashion designer, was looking at the shelves of major retailers. She saw something that most had overlooked. Black-owned brands were everywhere, but they weren't on store shelves. So she created the 15% Pledge, a nonprofit that called on major retailers to dedicate 15% of their shelf space to black-owned businesses. The number 15 represents the percentage of the American population that is black. Within months, Target, Whole Foods, Saks Fifth Avenue, and dozens of other major retailers signed on. By 2022, the 15% Pledge had helped black business owners generate over $10 billion in revenue. But Aurora James was already building wealth long before 2020. As the founder of Brotherhood Falls, a luxury fashion brand, she had already established herself as one of the most respected designers in the industry. Her brand focuses on sustainable, ethically made clothing using natural fabrics and traditional craftsmanship. With a net worth estimated at $60 million and growing rapidly, Aurora James is proof that one idea at the right moment can change an entire economy. From Wall Street to the beauty industry, the woman at number 1 didn't just sell products, she built a brand that proved the beauty industry had been ignoring millions of women for decades. Number 1. Denise Woods, the invisible billionaire. Actually, let's end this list the right way, because the woman at number 1 isn't the richest on this list by net worth. She's number 1 because her story captures everything this channel is about. Denise Woods represents the thousands of black women in America who have quietly built generational wealth through real estate, private equity, and strategic investing. Women who never appear on Forbes lists, women who never make headlines, women who simply show up, work hard, and build wealth the old-fashioned way. These women are the backbone of black wealth in America. Not the entertainers, not the celebrities, the quiet builders, the patient investors, the women who understood one thing above everything else. Wealth is not built in the spotlight, it's built in silence. And that is the most powerful lesson this channel will ever teach you. These women didn't just change industries, they built empires without the spotlight. From billion-dollar healthcare companies to fashion brands generating billions in revenue, they proved that wealth can be created in silence, not just fame. The lesson? Wealth is built through persistence, innovation, and the courage to create opportunities where others see none.